Hey everybody, Jason here, Volunteer Botanicals, and I want to take a few moments to talk about the legal landscape of Delta-9 THC, this new molecule that many of you are working with for the very first time. And I know it's a fun molecule to work with, but it's very challenging and intriguing in terms of the legal landscape behind it. So we want to make sure that you know everything that you can know as efficiently as possible out of this one video. So as you begin to craft your first beverage and utilize our Rapidose Delta-9 THC, you might be caught with a barrage of misunderstandings of all the laws that come into place when using an ingredient. Is it from hemp? Is it from marijuana? Is it legal in your state? Is it federally legal? Do the policies continually change? We're in a discussion today about evolving policies, and all of this is extremely challenging and can feel overwhelming and can stop you in your tracks before you get going. But you're not alone. We've been in this space for 8 years, working with a variety of botanicals and laws that are constantly changing, and you've got a team on your side. So today I want to take the time to break down the essentials in a way that's easy for you to understand as someone who's not as seasoned as we are, and craft it in a way that's kind of designed to help you succeed. So let's dive in and let's make sure compliance is as easy to understand as the front of your label. Stick around. So we'll start with the part that's as cut and dry and black and white as it can be, and it seems to be the easiest thing to understand right out of the get-go. And that is the federal farm bill in 2018 stated that hemp that was under the dry weight of 0.3% Delta-9 THC is considered hemp, period. Anything over that is considered marijuana. And that's where the line was drawn in the sand and put in place actually by the government in a federal law. So that is the clearest black and white box. Now, moving forward from there, there's lots of deviations that states have now put into place to kind of alter or put kind of, we'll call bumpers or roadblocks around that. But in a general sense, what we want you to understand is in a beverage, 0.3% of the entire beverage is a very, very small amount of weight going in your drink. So I want you to have full confidence that you're never going to be federally non-compliant unless you're dosing a beverage well over 1,000 milligrams per can. So if you're gonna make a 5 or 10 meg or 20 milligram THC beverage, you are absolutely federal compliant per the 2018 Farm Bill. So it provides you ample room to work with. What does your state or municipality allow in terms of total milligrams versus what your brand or your beverage you're trying to build wants in terms of an experience? And at a minimum, you are safe per the 2018 Farm Bill, box 1. So you know now that you're putting a hemp-derived THC product into a can, you're technically legal via the federal government. But it doesn't stop there. Step 2 is, what does my state have to say about it? And you'll need to navigate your own state and your own rules, doing your own research primarily with the Department of Ag. While Delta-9 THC beverages are federally legal, each state, even each county, can have different rules about milligram caps, labeling requirements, etc., or could impose a ban on it completely. So you have to make sure that not only are you federally compliant, which is easy to do, but you're compliant via your state regulations. And these regulations, they evolve frequently. So sometimes even on a weekly basis, like they do here in Tennessee. And it's crucial that you stay really on the leading edge of what's going on in your state with these beverages. And, you know, navigating these changes on your own can absolutely feel overwhelming. We have a team of legal experts that help with compliance specifically. So if you need someone to double check your rules and regulations, your labels, make sure you're following everything the best that you can via the rules that have been put in front of you, and you need help, let us know. We'll put a great team together that can really support you and your brand and make sure you're doing everything by the book. So the federal 2018 Farm Bill doesn't carve out anything specific that you need to put on your label. But more often than not, you're seeing states now carry the burden of putting out a set of rules or regulations that people need to follow if they're actually building THC-infused beverages and selling them within the state. So it's important to understand that your label is going to be part of the story that you tell in terms of your branding, but it's also a reflection that you know the rules and the laws and you're willing to follow them to the T. It's very critical that you don't bend on the rules that your state wants you to follow to build one of these beverages. So when the more common things that we see from state to state is making sure that you clearly indicate how much THC is in the beverage per drink and per serving. It's very important for the customer to know. There's a very big difference between a 2 and a 20 milligram THC beverage. Oftentimes, states require a scannable QR code, so the customer can scan with their own phone the QR code, and it will bring them to a certificate of analysis that will prove that what's stated on the can is also being verified by an independent third-party lab. And lastly is clear dosing instructions and warnings. Keep away from children, do not consume if pregnant or nursing, those sorts of things. And again, each state might have their own set of words, types of font, size of that font that you need to put your warnings in for your cans. Tennessee has that clearly defined, and your state probably does too. And if not, they're in the process of doing it. So if you need help understanding what are the core components of a label, we actually have a few sample labels that we're willing to share that we've put together for some of our customers and other customers' brands. We want you to get out of the gate with the least amount of mistakes, and we see lots of people making mistakes on their first set of labels. And finally, what you'll find comes up more and more now in each state, it is in Tennessee, is having a full panel test. And what that really means is you're not only testing the potency of the THC or cannabinoids that are found in that beverage, but you are also testing microbials, heavy metals, pesticides to make sure that the ingredients that you're putting in are clean and don't provide any sort of contamination to the beverage or to the health of the consumer. So these tests are expensive, and you don't want to make a lot of mistakes while building your beverages, so you don't have to do many of these tests. But keep in mind, the more transparent you are with your tests and what's actually in your beverage, from potency to pesticides, the more your state and your regulators will appreciate that you are following the rules and that you're not trying to hide anything. So don't forget the importance of testing and budgeting for full panel tests that test multiple parts of your beverage. And in closing today, we understand that navigating the new Delta-9 landscape for many breweries and beverage creators is new and challenging. We understand. We have provided ingredients to many of you and have helped you understand the intricacies of this particular ingredient. And we want you to know it can feel overwhelming. We understand. It can feel confusing. We understand. But we're here to help. That's our goal, is to make your job easier and to answer your questions so you have a sense of security and confidence that what you're doing is safe and legal and compliant. That's our commitment to you. Not only do we spend a lot of time with this plant and with the laws that govern this plant, we work with a great team of people that can also support any questions that you might have outside of our expertise. We have a great legal counsel team. We've got some great advisors that can help you. And our goal is to make this as simple as possible, especially if you're transitioning in from a new industry. And if you're ready to actually bring a Delta-9 THC infused beverage, or product for that matter, to the market, set up a meeting with us before you get going. Ask a ton of questions. Have your whole team on the Zoom, and let's have your owners on, and let's really get down to the brass tacks of it so you have confidence whether this is something you want to do or you don't want to do. And it's okay. Infusing these kinds of beverages with some of these powerful ingredients may not be for you. Delta-9 is a very powerful cannabinoid, and there's a lot of people who don't believe it fits their model. But for those that do, we want to make it easy for you. There's lots to navigate, but we're always here to help. We appreciate you taking the time to watch the video today. I'm Jason with Volunteer. See you next time.